How do you know when that ends though? So let's say you're like stressed and then you're like, when do you know when it's bad before, you have a heart attack or cancer or something like that? Do you know what I mean? Like, is there a point at which you can know that at all?
Well, everybody has a different stress level they can handle, and you have to know your limits. If you don't know your limits, then of course the same thing when you train. I don't propose that you take off and just do a marathon the same day. You have to build up to it. You have to train yourself to do it. And so, training yourself to deal with stress is like running the marathon. You have to train for it. And so if you never put yourself under stress, you're never going to learn how to deal with stress. So, anxiety and stress is a buildup. It's like working your muscles and developing that core competency that you need to be able to be an enduring company. So I think, I'm not proposing that you just take on something that's going to wipe you out, because that's stupid. But you want to be able to build up that stress level. And then when you start a company, you're small and you're just starting getting going. So, but you got to learn to deal with stress. If you avoid stress, then of course you're never going to build that muscle.
So tell me about the whole point, right? Tough things first. How the heck do we do that? It's like that book, Eat This, Eat That Frog, where I don't know, there's just so much resistance for doing the tough things first, right? So how do we make ourselves do the tough stuff?
Okay, so every time we come around to the new year, we talk about New Year's resolutions,
Hmm.
and it's tough to keep New Year's resolutions because they're tough. New Year's resolutions, if they're not tough, are not resolutions, right? So, we always end up with these difficult things that we want to achieve. I don't know of anyone that doesn't have a high aspiration for themselves and their family. But those high aspirations are come with effort. You're not going to accomplish something if there's no effort involved. As they say, if something's worthwhile doing, it's worthwhile doing well. And so you need to be able to put the time and effort into whatever you're doing. And that takes discipline. And I define discipline as doing what you don't like doing and doing it well. And that's where the tough things first comes in, because it's loving the things you hate. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron, to love the things you hate. But if you think about the things, Jamie, that you don't want to do, it's because you don't like them, right? But those are the things you really should do, as long as they're good things. I'm not proposing you want to do something bad. I'm saying, but if it's good for you and your family, but they're difficult, those are the ones that you need to focus on, and they're harder to do. So what I do is and this is, I've done it since I've been a child, is to really just dive in, just not think about how much I didn't like wanting to do it, and then I learned to like it. That's why I call loving the things you hate.